speaking of, I should get over into RimWorld. So I've got my little thing up and stuff that like lets us know in case I like get to a point where I'm not talking as much. Because earlier when I did put some cream, some like muscle relaxant shit on my throat, my voice box was stinging. So I suspect that probably maybe a little bit before the 3-hour mark of like my usual stream, it's probably going to crap out on me. So, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, whatever. We be right. I feel so disoriented looking at the computer though, because I've been wearing my glasses all weekend. And my brain's just like, oh, I should put my glasses on. I'm like, I don't wear glasses for gaming. So, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. My brain's like trying to come about it. But, look, I'll live. I'll be fine. I'm just in a lot of pain and discomfort. So, yeah. Can't imagine being in your case. Aside, I think I also sabotaged my colony a few hours ago. Oh, really? What'd you fucking do? What'd they do? You never know with RimWorld and stuff, but yeah, welcome to my colony. I don't know how well it's going to run tonight because I also am editing my 10-hour art stream in the background. I thought it would take an hour. It's taking a lot longer than an hour. So, yeah, here's hoping nothing crashes. But let me have a look at how my computer's like doing at the moment. Hold on. I've got 60 to 65% CPU usage. So it's fine. It will live mostly. Let me move over a little bit. There we go. About half capacity of my RAM, so yeah, as long as I don't get a raid or some kind of crazy event or something, we should be fine. What are you shooting over here, mate? Crickets, what are you hunting? A rabbit, a rat? Rat, maybe? Probably a rat. Yeah. Give Vikings some extra pats though. Yeah, I took some more painkillers earlier, so everything should like settle the fuck down. It's not gonna absolutely work, and the funniest thing is that's actually how I got into this situation in the first place, is that because I was wondering how I got like such a bad burn in the first place, because I'm like, it's just a heat pack. It shouldn't really be able to do that serious of a burn. It turns out the reason why I keep getting burnt with fucking heat packs, because this isn't my first burn, it's not my first rodeo with that, but this is one of the worst ones I've had. And in this case, it's actually, I took painkillers, and the painkillers made me unable to feel that I was burning. Yeah, it took me too long to realize that's a thing that can actually happen. So that's why I have such a bad burn. And it's also why I couldn't figure out why when I put the heat pack back on it, why it wasn't making it feel better. I had a really stupid moment with that one. Because I'm like, oh, you know, if the heat pack gets too warm, you take it off for a little bit and you put it back on. But yeah, when you have an actual, like, a deep burn, like the meat inside of there is still hot and cooking and stuff. So when you put it back on it, it just amplifies the amount of heat that area is dealing with. So yeah, don't put heat on heat damaged skin. That's a lesson some people probably need to know. Also, don't use heat packs when you're already using like a painkiller, like a decent painkiller. Mind you, that's questionable depending on the situation. Like usually if you can only if you can somewhat feel. I'm waiting for Tade to move so I can see if he's standing in a door or if I'm missing a part of a wall, by the way. How many colors do you have? I've got, hold on a second, it should be 265 and one prisoner, so 266 at the moment. We lost, I think we lost Jung last week. Was that the week before? Oh, we lost Jung the week beforehand, so that's fine. We took in Kat, I'm pretty sure, which she's already in the colony. I'm still in prison. I still won't join, but Kat joined. So, yeah. I'm not using any, like, mods realistically. I've got, hold on, you'll see it when I load. Let me hit save and I can load back in. You can see my list of mods on the screen. So, it's the easiest way to answer it, basically. There you go. That's all I've got. Wild Reproduction doesn't work. I don't have any of the DLCs or anything, so yeah. I've got Drop All Inventory, EdB Prepare Carefully, Deep Stacks, HugsLib, and Harmony. Colonists. I still a lot of people. This game's been running for over 2 years. It's April now, and I started in March of 2023. So been going for a while. But yeah, that was just a quick and easy way to just bring that up. Keep an eye on your Tade because I want to see if that wall behind you is there, or it kind of looks like it might be a door. Maybe. So I'll just check. But yeah, I steal a lot of people. I have been stealing a lot of people for a long time. Yeah, basically, I started with 21 people, which were, I used EdB Prepare Carefully to bring colonists from my previous colonies into this one. I recreated them and stuff. And as part of that, I'm trying to basically keep them alive, and we're trying to go to the landed ship quest, which this is our 3rd location, so we're here. We've moved twice, so hold on. Thing that we want to go to, no, hold on, I forgot how to play for a second there, is all the way up here. So we've got like maybe 2 or 3 moves. I want to kind of move about there, somewhere here. I kind of want to move just somewhere up in here, really close by as the next one, because I've got this shitty little like rock passage here, and the only real way to get through it is this little bit here. So it still takes like 9 or so days to get to up there. I should be able to use transport pods. So yeah, but originally we started down here. So that was the settlement of Salvation, which looked like this. We stayed there for nearly a year. Well, I got about 120, 160 colonists or something like that. I think it was like 160 odd, and then we unpacked the entire place, we deconstructed it, and we moved. And then we moved to up, where am I? We moved to up here. It was quite a long move. It was like a 16-day caravan, and I had all this crap around here. I wouldn't do that again. This was Quillen, and this location glitched when 1.5 updated, and it corrupted my tile, and we had to abandon that before I finished building it. This was Quillen. I didn't get to successfully finish building that before we had to evacuate because all the textures at the back disappeared and everything slowed down, and it was just becoming impossible to play. So we abandoned the tile and just about everything we had in it. I didn't know I had a glitch that was causing my colonists to unpack their caravan as they were packing the caravan. So a lot of them left without food, and we arrived at our current location, which is up here, at Dryden. And we arrived here with basically no food, and we took like 20 odd prisoners on the way. So we arrived with like 180 odd colonists, and I had to build everything from scratch. We just had like this little prison area in the center that was for like keeping the supplies, the prisoners, and the animals all in one space because I just didn't have anything or anywhere for them. So we had like massive, nearly colony ending tantrums. We had a near starvation event. I had to cull 2/3 of the animal population to keep everybody alive. We had so many things happen, and they're still doing all right. But it was just like, it was like 3 or so months of just non-stop tantrums. So that was pretty stressful to deal with for a bit. And now everybody's got like rooms, everybody's got like some level of luxury. I'm trying to fix up the food situation because Phoebe Trillax has decided she can't take my colonists her own way. She's gonna starve us out. So we had 2 infestations and a cold snap across winter, well, literally last week. So I don't have much of my crops sowed at the moment. Everybody's out here doing this at the moment. Like, look, here's a little fleet. I got a few people around here. So they'll be going and doing that. It's literally the last day of winter, so I'm hoping to get hopefully 2 crops, full harvests between now and the end of spring. But I'm also hoping that some of my animal supply plops out a couple of like litters of babies and shit, because I need food. We need to increase the animal quantity again. I'm constantly going up and down with the quantities of animals I can keep because I have a fair few cats and panthers and meat eaters and stuff, and yeah, they keep eating all the eggs, and they keep eating like all the meat in the storage and crap, and all the animals need to be tamed, so they need food, like vegetable foods, but they also eat our crops, because unfortunately I've got a partial beach map, which wasn't really gonna be much of an issue until the issue was that I don't have half of my like growable land. Like, where's my fertility thingy there? Like, look at this. I can't grow on any of that. I have a patch in the center I can't grow on to. Oh, yeah. Next map I'm looking for, which I'd like to move soon, but I'm trying to get everybody fixed up at the moment. I'm trying to get Barnix, and I was thinking about doing some prosthetics because we've still got like 14,000 steel, right? So we should be able to do that, but I don't have a lot of components, and I don't have a lot of advanced components, and the steel is going towards both of that. It's just going to take a while because almost every colonist, like I could click on almost anybody, almost everybody needs something. Like, I don't have spare lungs and shit, but you need like a bionic ear or a cochlear implant or something, you know, stuff like that. So at the moment we're just kind of like existing, which is sort of nice to just be for a while. So I'm really mostly just trying to get the animals bred up. I'm trying to get the food supply grown again, and yeah, trying to get us stable enough to move. Because realistically, if I hadn't have stolen a couple of my allies' people because they had like specific names that match my like community members and stuff, yeah, I wouldn't have been out like 15,000 fucking potatoes and shit, you know? So we would have actually had some food supplies and some rice and crap, but it's fine. They'll be fine, as far as I know. I sent most of my colonists to item stash collection guard mechanoids. Forgot to leave a chef at home, suffering a cold snap, ended with 2 mechanoid ships in the same corner of the map. Jesus. That's a hell of a fucking situation to have. I haven't really had like 2 mechanoids on a map, like 2 different groups on the map at one time. I usually try to clear them out, normally the same day that they arrive, so that I don't have to deal with that later. I have seen it. I've seen other people have like multiple fucking mech situations. I was watching somebody last week that had that happen. It was wild. So I don't know, maybe I just haven't had it, or maybe been lucky and stuff, you know? You're an expert. I haven't finished full run. Look, I haven't played that many games of RimWorld, I'll say that much, because my games unfortunately kind of run for a couple of years at a time. So, like, this is my colony of Asora. My last colony was Nido. It ran for about 10 months. My colony of Hatora lived for a couple of years. Then I had a couple of, like, little piddly colonies in between. Then I had the Coalition colony, which was, like, my 3rd colony. And then I had a couple of piddly ones in between, like, my 1st and 2nd and shit. So, yeah. I really haven't RimWorld much, but I mostly specialize in giant colonies, because like Coalition was like 100 or so people, Hatora was like 170 odd, and this is like 260 odd. I'm really just trying to take an army of 250 colonists across to the landed ship quest, because I just want to see what that's like. I've never done the landed ship quest, and I am also curious at how the game will scale up a landed ship quest perpetual raid situation. I'm kind of thinking that the best way to go about it is by not sending out all of my colonists each day's battle, but in fact rotating a cycle, so I always have like a majority of the group that can fight, which honestly isn't a bad idea. It just depends on what I get and shit. But yeah, we recently had like a pack of like 40 odd mechs arrive, and they were like the sleeping defoliator ones. So I decided to build a fuck ton of turrets around it. I don't really want to sell you guys too much because I am doing a quest at the moment. I don't know if I took much. I guess I got a couple of talks. I got some guinea pig fur. I do want your components. No, this isn't the group that's going to trade. This is just a group that's found them. But yeah, I'll buy some components on the way. I took some spare shitty clothing. Which honestly, if I could not have to keep producing clothes all the time, we would also, again, be in a really great situation. But I have to keep selling it and shit because I don't have spare food resources. Usually I have a shit ton of food. And they're also going to the other Dryden. They're going to the OC Dryden. But I usually have a shit ton of food and I can just throw that around like it's cash, basically. But it's not how it's working this particular run. I do have a door there. Why the fuck do I have a door in somebody's set bedroom? Hold on, let's get rid of that. Chimpanzee mate, I know you're doing something. Oh, you're butcher. No, I'll get the other chimpanzee if I can find him. Actually, Lumi's right there. Come here. Can you go deconstruct? Cypress is on it. It's fine. Lumi can do it. Cypress can go tend. He'll be fine. The caravan is like 6 days away and the total number of colonists is 11. Jesus. It's doing much better than I do. Look, everybody plays RimWorld differently and everybody has to start playing RimWorld somewhere. That's how I look at it. I heard about RimWorld, like, I hadn't actually liked the game. I didn't want to get it or play it. And then my friend was like, I'm just gonna fucking get you the game and you can play it. And I'm like, I guess I have to fucking play the game now. And I actually liked it and stuff. So yeah, I've been playing it since. But I heard of like, I heard how people are like, oh, if you want to play like really difficulty, you could do this, you could do that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, it's just a colony simulator game is how I kind of like approached it. And anywho, so I ended up trying, like, my second colony was legitimately actually on a sea ice location. And I'm like, yeah, there's no reason for me to do that again. I play for fun. I don't play to sit here and like sweat bullets about existing and stuff. So yeah, I forgot that Parsons was somebody I could send out for this. So I've got a gold mine I've got to go and mine, but I'm trying to get gold so that I can make the advanced components, so I can make the whatchamacallits, the bionics. So I can replace some limbs and shit around the colony. I'm just looking for my team of miners. I also want to make sure somebody has a gun in the group, just in case, because gold's usually guarded by somebody, but we'll see. That's hung. Alright, that's like 4 or 5 people. I don't want to send out a whole heap, because I should be due for another attack. I've only been getting piddly little infestations. I'll send out Frankie too. That should be plenty enough. I'll send out Frankie and I'll send out maybe the horses. Every time I send them collectively together, forces them to reproduce, so they can go and they can go get some breeding done. And just in case we happen upon a good amount of, that reminds me, I'll grab somebody that can cut a tree while I'm at it. Pretty sure Suzuka can. Yeah, you can do plant cutting. Okay, Shizuka can go on this as well. I don't really like sending out my originals, but she should be fine. She can also, actually no, she's a pacifist. I was going to say she can fire a gun. I was thinking of the other one. It's fine. I don't really want you guys eating kibble, but sure. Simple meals. You got 4 days worth of food. I'm suspecting you guys are going to be out there for a little bit longer than that. So how about you guys take about 100 pemmican and about 160 packaged survival meals. That gives us 18 days in case we find a second gold mine while we're out there. I don't mind how much stuff they've got. That's fine. Let's go with that. Cool. Alright. The other thing too is I save a lot. I also try to replay scenarios to see if I can come out of it with a better outcome. Like last week I accidentally took the worst outcome and yeah, it's fine. It happens every so often. Let me stretch a little bit. Continue snuggling both full postures where you can tell happily together. No. I read a bit extra there, but that's fine. Can barely juggle my current 11 without having food shortages. I recently sterilized all my laboratories. I thought it was a good idea to have a lot of haulers. Boy, do I regret having them. Maybe I should cut them all. Well, the other thing too is, so I have panthers. Like there's not a single, there's a little one. There's a little panther. So like I have like a shit ton of hauling animals. Like, oh. So we've got all my bonded pets, and I think you guys are bonded to people that are dead. So all of these guys can go hauling, and the point of that is that not only are these able to do hauling, but they're also able to be extra attack beings in my colony. So if I get attacked and I say that I want my animals to go and attack, they'll go and they'll basically bum rush the whatever and prevent them from being able to shoot outwards to hit my colonists, right? I'm also trying to keep the originals of those alive, so that's like Bubba and who else we got there? We've got Big Boy and fucking Drooly and all them and stuff. Xena, we're trying to keep her alive. We lost Zeke, the cat. Alright, nothing we could do about that. He died, I think, from a heart attack in transit from Quillen. But, yeah. I don't know, food and stuff. I don't know, food isn't too bad. Usually I don't have 200 plus colonists, so I can manage them a little bit better. But I also did use, like, I sent transport pods full of like 5,000 potatoes and 5,555 fucking rice. I just kept launching those at my allies to make them friends because I didn't have any other materials. Usually when wild reproduction is working, I can use that to have more animals walk in on the map and they reproduce and I have more meat, right? So I encounter animals more frequently, but that hasn't been working since 1.5. So the amount of food that I'm getting from meat has dwindled, and I'm trying to compensate by growing that, but I still don't have that many animals. I don't know if I did a count the other day. Let me check. No, I didn't do a count, but fuck it, I've probably got like 400 odd animals at the moment, so it's not probably half, but it's close. You know, so we'll get that back eventually. Once my animals get up to full spec and all my people get repaired and stuff, we'll look at moving then. But not until we have that. Green's sick again, but that's fine. But yeah, I just find like your animals, pick and choose them. If you've got haulers and they're meat eaters, like my panthers for instance, they may pose a problem where you won't cull enough meat to support them and your colonists feeding. But like plant crops and stuff like that, it really just depends. Like, also depends how you're playing and like type of colonists you've got and stuff. Like I have a shit ton of colonists. Not all of them are great. Like let's have a look at Worm. He's got cooking and animals. The reason why he's got cookings and animals so fucking high is because I have a shit ton of animals and I have a shit ton of workbenches that have all kinds of things they can make. So around the clock I have somebody always making something so they can get their skills up. I very recently got a couple of people in my colony that only had like a couple of skills, and I reprioritized their skills so that come back here, so that they'll now go and upskill in some other things. We'll get some crappy harvests, we'll get some crappy builds, we'll lose some resources, whatever, but eventually they'll get those skills up and I'll have multi-skilled colonists able to do like so much. So it'd be great. Plus, I also walked into my colony and I pissed off my allies by stealing myself from them. So yeah, there's that. Hold on. I just had to cough for a second there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to when I eventually integrated my colony. She had a alcohol tolerance withdrawal thing for like fucking ages. So for like 20 days I couldn't do jack shit about it. Just on management since mine are dying out slowly. What, the crops or the people? Or the animals? Just specify which one because it's a different approach to each and shit. Whose animal starvation is it? The chickens? Yeah. They're starving because we had a cold snap. And there's nothing much I can do about that. So we'll get food probably before they die off. Or somebody will break a fucking wall or a fence or something. And they'll get in that way. Cut on, what's it? Cut on the hops production then. Yeah, hops isn't something that like your colonists can eat. Your animals can eat it though. I grow hops for my animals when I want something that's exclusively for them to eat, right? So like I've got down here, I've got a little area where I can store a little bit of medical supplies. It's a cold room, it's chilled, right? So the objective is that if I have food, I can store it in there, it's refrigerated and stuff. The fuck? Hey, She-Wolf, welcome in. Also, congratulations on being, I think, what, number 600? If that's, yeah, number 600. Yeah, well, fucking welcome in. And just going through some, like, RimWorld stuffs. But, yeah, the fuck you up to? Yeah. But yeah, I try to keep, like, if I have food that's, like, specifically for my animals, I keep it, like, down here with them. So that they stay the fuck away from, like, my food area, like, up here. I don't want them walking into, like, my fridge and making it filthy. Like, it gets a bit filthy because my panthers and thrombos and stuff can come in here, and they just shit everywhere. But apart from that, yeah. If you want to grow crops specifically for an animal, hops is fine. I think smoke leaf, they also eat that and stuff, but it's two things that your colonists cannot eat. So it's kind of like, it'll get your skills, but it wastes your time for your colonists if they're needing food. Kind of stuff, unless you're actually making like colonist drugs off it and selling those for profit, in which case that could net you more money for other resources. So that's completely up to you. I'm running a no drugs colony. It's hilarious at times because as soon as we get like a liquor ambrosia in here, everybody loses their fucking shit. I'm not even joking. They just like, they drop everything and beeline for it. And because it's a no drugs colony, basically, like, I grab whoever's nearest and I go beat the shit out of them, either put them in hospital or put them in prison, depending on how much of a fight they put up. And I get it where, like, you know, they're bedridden and they're like rocking around like, oh god, I'm in mind-shattering pain. I'd better go grab me a beer or something. And it's like, you know, they get ganked again by the whole colony. And the objective is to try not to kill them. So yeah, that's generally what I try to do, is try not to kill them, but try to like learn them a lesson. This is why everybody has like health problems out of interest, aside from like the sheer number of attacks and shit we've got over time and stuff, you know. I use it for beer with the leaves for yayo, mostly to help with for trading. And I'm slightly regretting it. Time to swap for more food. So I literally swapped for more food last week. I had a couple of grow rooms here, these indoor ones where animals can't get to them. I had that, and I had these two. They were all, what do you call it? Like cotton and devil strand, non-edibles, right? Big money to sell, and I can use the cotton for medicine. But yeah, the rest of it is like all food. But I swapped it over because we had a cold snap and I needed indoor grow rooms to be doing food. So that will get us through while the rest of it's getting replanted, you know. It's a happily snuggling both wolf bushes, stretch its paws. Sounds like Viking's about to fall asleep by the look of it. What's it? Is Wolf old friend of yours? No, Viking's been around for like, I don't know, ages while I've been streaming and stuff. But yeah, no, he's just stream wolf. Just chills and shit, and you can pat him, offer him coffee and all sorts of shit stuff. Yeah, that too. If you're nice to him, he gives you feathers. Prepare your stockpile of feathers, because like I do like bows and arrows in like my other games and stuff from the quivers of them that he gives me. But yeah, he's a channel pet. Yeah, basically he's pretty friendly. Like obviously, if you don't want to interact with him or like whatever, that's fine. Just don't be rude. Like just like politely decline and he'll leave you be and shit. So that's all I say. I'm gonna have some water. Hold on. Also, welcome in, Jaylee. Actually, I'm gonna have more of that water. Hold on. I already had like a liter of water today, but I'm still gonna be sipping on that as much as possible to help with my throat and shit. But yeah, Viking's pretty friendly. Trox is gonna hide in his room, mate. Why? Are you in the... Yeah, you are. Fuck off.